try and be, cool.
I might.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I'm trying to like get the whole, I'm not good with the Zoom stuff. That's all.
Yeah.
Yeah. How's your morning been?
Very nice and normal.
Yeah. But I have like 2 other projects I'm doing with Francesca and Samantha, so we're both working a bunch. So
yeah, just busy.
Yeah. But do you think on the sourcing inspiration stuff at all?
And it's not as simple. I don't just see something I like and try to copy it. Like it's not
Right.
It's not that easy. It's
Right.
I don't know. It's like I'm in this constant mood
Mm-hmm.
and like just I guess my surroundings and the Louisiana period has a mood, and so being around that, I guess trying to convey it.
Right,
And
right, yeah.
like sometimes all of a sudden I will see something or something somebody else drew or took a picture of or did,
Right.
and I'll think, oh, that's it.
Right,
Let me try that, and maybe I can get this across to people. Like, I don't know.
Do you feel like it's more, because I think typically it seems like inspiration comes from all kinds of sources, but do you feel like, because I feel inspired in different ways depending upon what the source is. Like if I'm listening to music, I feel inspired a certain way. If I'm reading, I feel inspired a certain way. If I'm writing, I feel inspired a certain way. So have you paid attention to that at all or noticed how it affects you?
Yeah, yesterday when you said, so be thinking about that.
Yeah.
I I tried to notice.
Yeah.
And it's more like how I relate to the world and
Okay.
not how it responds to me necessarily. So it's like the inspiration always comes from me, but then
Right.
I'll see something that point across,
Right.
and so I'll try that. And
Okay.
so yeah, other people's work will kind of do that for me sometimes.
Right.
Music puts me in a mood that I can't really think through.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I can't even, like, if I'm trying to if I'm trying to work, I can't listen to music.
Yeah. Yeah, I
Because
get
it
that.
completely changes, like,
I get that.
like, I know some people actually need some background music to work
Yeah.
or help them um, get out the feeling of what they're trying to do, like with their work or on their painting or on on their
Right.
photos. I can't
Right.
do that.
I think music, it depends on what I'm doing. It depends on if it's more of a stream of conscious, like creation of some kind. Like if I'm doing photo editing or pictures, I think music can be great because it can almost be like a channel for the energy to kind of come out in some type of visual form. But I think,
Yeah.
I know what you mean, though. I think it
Yeah.
depends. So,
Yeah. I can probably do 2 things at once like that and listen to music
right.
and also try to be productive. But
Yeah.
um on a normal day,
Right. Right.
I need lots of quiet to be able to even think. So
Yeah. I know what you mean. No, I need a lot of quiet too. I would say I only really listen to a lot of music more, maybe once every couple days, depending on what's going on. It just depends too if I have a day where I'm listening more to like something I'm learning from, or if I'm listening to an audiobook, or if I'm listening to someone just giving a speech or something, which isn't that often either, but it's still like if I'm doing that, then it's more rare I'm going to also be listening to music that day too. It's kind of like I can only take in so much content.
Right. Yeah.
Like
It's
audio
too much.
content.
It's too much sometimes. Like I can't even drive and listen to music. That's no.
Yeah, hyperstimuli. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. It's
I
too much.
I I mean I can drive and listen to music, but I have to be in like the zone. You know, I have to be like it has to be like a road trip or something, or I have to be like
Right.
driving for a period of time and then it's like, okay, you know?
If it's a very uneventful trip and it's somewhere I've been a million times,
Yeah.
I can do
Yeah.
that. I
Yeah.
can do that.
Yeah.
If it's not busy, like if I'm not in town,
Right.
I might could do that.
Right. What yeah, have you noticed any of the kind of differences with because I know when I read, it's really inspiring for me to write. And if I'm listening to music, it's almost like visually inspiring for me to do like photo work or something. Or do you notice like I don't know. I'm not sure. It's like a level of self-awareness I think you have to have, but like do you notice that at all? Or is it just this
Mm,
flow and you're just kind of like however it
I
happens?
there is so much going on in here to
Yeah.
it's a lot.
Yeah, I get it.
So I haven't ever been made to pay attention to that. I could
Okay.
try.
Yeah, I mean, in periods of in life, I've always just really paid attention to where it's coming from because then it's like I can tap into it if I want it.
Yeah.
You know, like if I'm like, oh, I need to do a bunch of photos, then I know visual things are gonna more inspire me to do photo. I don't know, like
Yeah.
so.
Um, I guess now that I think about it, I guess it's just always there. Like that's a constant
Yeah,
state of mind. Like it's there always.
yeah, yeah. What so how long have you been doing painting and how long have you been doing any photo work too? I know it's like not your like main thing, but
So painting and drawing and stuff, that's something that I don't remember a time where I wasn't doing it.
right.
I'm quite sure there was.
Hmm.
I just don't remember it.
Right. Right.
And like even when I was very little, like before I could talk, I've seen
Right.
pictures of me and my papa just sitting there coloring. Like
Right.
that's what we did. Um, so I just always have done it, I guess. But I guess the when I started actually trying to make a career type situation out of it is I think high school, kind of sixth grade, in between. Once people started saying, hey, that looks great, you
Right.
should keep doing that.
Right.
Um, I'm like, well, oh, okay, other people like this.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll keep doing that and I'll get better at it.
Yeah.
So,
Do you feel like painting is um almost like it's just like very cathartic or very there's a certain kind of energy that goes into painting. It's a very like deep cathartic energy in my opinion. Like from my
um,
experience painting. And maybe it's different for everyone, but
drive for sure. Like I can't not.
yeah, yeah, I get that. I get that.
Yeah,
Cool. And then for photos, do you like photo work or is it kind of just
I
sort of
do. No,
yeah,
I do actually, but I haven't done any. I haven't studied it. I haven't practiced it. I haven't even considered the idea of being a photographer of any kind. It's something I do for fun, I guess, and I'll see something and
right.
I'll think, oh, well, that fits. I will take a picture of it and post it.
Right, right. Yeah. Cool. Yeah, I think your photos are really good. I mean, I think if you actually like if you did more of it, and that just might come whenever you feel like doing it, but they're really good. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, for sure, I'll keep doing that. And if other people like them, then, great.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. What are your favorite things to paint? How do you feel like inspired, like subject matter wise?
Subject matter is always, it's always something I like. So that would be, it's more, like I said, moody stuff. So that would be
Yeah.
swamp scenery. That's just, it feels homey to me. I
Yeah,
don't
I
know
get
that
that.
I don't know if it comes across that way to other people, but it
It
feels,
kind of does. It kind of does.
yeah.
I can see where, yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So it feels safe and surreal at the same time to
Right.
me.
Right.
And some of that can some of that can be in a in a more negative way, or it can be in a more, I don't think I've ever painted anything happy-go-lucky.
Yeah, I get that. Yeah.
um, it's mostly stuff that you would find around here.
Right, right. Yeah, I think the South in general has an energy to it that is very
It does.
distinct.
It does.
Yeah.
There's a distinct difference
Yeah.
between the areas. And then when you go to Louisiana, it's even more
Right.
in your face.
Yeah. One of my best friend lives in Alabama, and she's been in Birmingham for,
Love Alabama.
yeah, and she's Katie, she's the one in the design chat. She's
Yeah.
like, is Raylin in Alabama? She's an Alabama area code. I was like, oh no, but she's really cool, and she's like, I mean, there's a lot of she doesn't like the more closed-mindedness of the South,
Yeah.
I guess, or like the
Yeah.
beaten
I
path.
can see that. I can see it. Yeah, if people if people don't really, like, if they do not accept our way of welcoming them, and they're like, oh no, we don't believe in this crap, no,
Right.
then we're
Right.
like, go back from to where you came.
Mm-hmm. No, I get it. I
Like, try to be so nice, and when it's not, and that can, nice looks different to
Yeah.
different
Yeah.
areas, and it can be off-putting to a lot of people. But yeah, I do. I've lived in Alabama for a little while, and
Okay.
I really liked it.
It's
It
pretty. It has very distinct energy too. All
it
the different southern states all have very distinct energy to them.
it wasn't quite so heavy feeling. Like
Okay.
it was a lighter, a happier,
I think a lot has happened in Louisiana the
friendlier.
past like 10 plus years, and so
Yeah,
it's
yeah. To
yeah,
be fair, it's been through a lot.
yeah, yeah. Uh, yeah, I lived in Louisiana and Mandeville for like 6 months when I was little. So I've been and I've visited Louisiana a bunch. So I'm been to New Orleans a bunch,
Yeah,
Baton Rouge. Like I know the area. I like the South. Like I think it's pretty.
yeah.
I I don't really like associate with people really anywhere. So like for me, it's like when people are like, "Oh, I don't really like the people," I'm like,
Meh.
I'm not. I don't know. So I'm kind of just, but yeah, I like the South. Like I like the energy. I find interesting though. It's not always good energy. It's definitely, it seems
There's
to
something
hold a lot
there.
of energy for what's going
Yeah,
on. Like because of the history there, and because
yeah.
anytime it goes through anything, it just seems to hold a lot of energy. So
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, we don't forget.
yeah. Do you like just kind of when you paint, do you kind of drive around and then do you just think about things sort of visually and then you're like, oh, I want to paint that later? Or are you like, I don't know.
Mm, um,
Or is it just something that just comes to your mind and then you're like, oh, that's what
yeah,
I'm painting?
well, yeah, like I said, it's kind of more of a it's always here. And
Yeah,
then I'll see something that feels the same
right.
and I'll do that.
That's a
Yes,
cool way to describe it. No, that's a cool.
it is hard to describe it. It's hard to put words to it. That was, oh my goodness, that was putting
Yeah.
words, like I'm putting words on this stuff that I can't explain.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't know how to, I don't know how to do this.
Yeah.
Uh, and it's like, oh no. And now I'm like, I just told you how to feel about this, and that's not even the correct way. That's not even how I really even feel about it's complicated. Um,
Yeah.
so
I have a
putting
feeling that's going to be like a thing, honestly. I have a feeling about
I
20 to
need
30% of the artists are going to all be the same way on AP Global, where they're going to be like,
I needed
I don't
to go
know.
I needed to go through that. That was a good thing, and I'm glad we did that. So
Well, I'm trying to think too of like kind of I mean, because I guess like the company, you could write up a description for them, but I don't want to misrepresent anyone's stuff either. Like that's going to be that's the biggest thing with AP Global for me is like retaining what they want to represent,
it
retaining how
it's
they
a
want to
total,
represent it, you know? So
yeah.
like for me to just kind of take over and be like, oh, well, we'll just write this description and that'll be, I don't want to, I mean, I would run it
I,
by them, but I also don't want to do that because I feel like it's
yeah.
dampening it or ruining it in some way too, you know?
Yeah,
So
no, that'll give some of them a heart attack for sure.
yeah,
Like I don't um
yeah,
yeah, that's gonna have to be something you kind of feel your way around once you get to it, I guess.
yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. I know. I'm already getting like so far all the artists that have been sending work over, it's just been like they're just like sending the photos. So I'm just like, okay, I'm gonna need more content from you.
Yeah,
Sorry. Just
um,
you know, this already took a few weeks to get, but we need some more. So
yeah, it's the problem is like they
yeah.
the art is supposed to be the words, and so
Yeah. Yeah.
putting words that don't really mean anything to it, it's like it makes you feel kind of like you're selling out or something, and it's like,
Yeah.
oh.
Right. Right.
No,
Yeah.
I do understand though, like other people, they need something written about it to describe what they are looking at.
Right.
Like if they're going to buy something, they kind of need you to tell them what it is.
Yeah. Right.
A lot of the time a picture won't work,
Right.
and like that's not the complete story to them. They need some words.
Yeah.
So I
Yeah.
like I
Well, and plus, like, to me, putting like acrylic painting 20 by 30, like, that just is super. That's like, if you want that, like, go to Target or IKEA or, you
yeah.
know, like, or Z Gallery or like, if that's just
And
what you
I
want, it's just some basic art that's just a certain size, then go to the furniture store or something, you know, but
Yeah. And I
I,
tried that at first. I was like, well, it's this. I mean, look at it. No, like I didn't know. Um,
yeah,
but yeah, that was something I needed to actually experience to know like what was going on,
yeah,
probably.
yeah. Yeah, it's gonna be a process. I can already tell, but I think once the artists are actually on the platform and like they're used and they actually make money from it and it's actually this it's almost like it becomes this third extension of them or something in some way. They'll get really used to just whenever they have new photos, whenever they have new work, they just email it over, they email the description over, and it can go right up in their section. You know,
Yeah,
so
it'll get quicker, and you'll get regular.
a little bit of a process, but it's once it's to me, I just view it like setting up a machine. Like once it's going, it'll be very,
Yeah.
it'll be very systematic, and they'll get used to, like, you know, I want one of the first few things they think of when they get a lot of compliments on something to be like, oh, I should email this over to AP Global and make sure that they put it up on my profile so that it's accessible for people to be able. Um, I honestly could really talk about art for a long time. Like, so I'm trying to think of any other like specific questions. Like, oh, okay, okay, what are your favorite moods of things to paint? Which you kind of already touched on. But
Yeah.
then also, what are like your favorite like visual aesthetic things? Like certain colors you really like, certain
Okay.
things
Yeah.
like that.
So again, the mood is hard to describe. Okay, it's not that it's so I feel all of the feelings at the same time.
Yeah. Okay.
Is constantly. So all the feelings at the same time, and it's hard to explain. Some of them are stronger than others at times, but again, I never feel only just anger. I never feel only just one thing. Like they're always all of them constantly. So that's
That's so emotional.
it's
Is
hard
that
to
a feeler
pinpoint that
thing?
mood.
Is that a feeler thing?
I
Do you
think it is. I
okay.
think it must be like all of them at the
Okay.
same time, constantly, every
Okay.
second, every day.
Okay.
So it's really hard.
Interesting. Okay, weird. Huh.
Yeah. Maybe it is weird. I guess it is for
Well, I
y'all.
guess talk to your INTJ friend and talk to your husband, and they'll both like, that's kind of weird. And then you'll be like, isn't that how everyone is? And they'll be like, no, no, it's not.
No, I honestly think Will does not feel anything until I like say something, and he feels something like maybe one of them, and then it's over. So, but yeah, so the moods I like to paint, it's just so hard to get across. It really is. They're all in there. They're all in the photos. All of
Like,
them.
here are my emotions.
Yes, all the feels, all of them in that painting.
Yeah.
So, and I might be trying to stress one or the other in each piece, but they're all in it. And the aesthetics, as far as aesthetics go, it's, I guess you can see a pattern of
Yeah.
lot of dark in there.
Like the moody kind of,
Yeah.
you kind of described it as a little more, you want it to kind of feel homey too, you know?
Yes. Maybe homey's not the right word.
Cozy?
Comfort zoney
Okay.
might be more appropriate.
Okay.
And then so I usually only stick with one or two colors, and then lots of shadows in there.
Okay.
And normally it's not of people.
Yeah.
Normally it's of scenery for the most part.
Yeah. What do you ever want to branch out and do any people, or are you more just kind of, is it, I guess, whatever inspires, I guess.
I have done people, but um I now that I think about it, none of them are like beaming or smiling or
Oh yeah, like it's more just
they're most of the time they're pretty stone faced. but that's not
Lisa is too.
necessarily,
It's
yeah, and that's not necessarily who they are. I'm just like, I'll take a picture of them, and that's how I'm drawing you right now.
right,
Thank you.
right. Yeah. All
Yeah.
right. What do you feel like your aesthetic would change if you lived somewhere else? Do you feel like it would? Because I always notice, honestly,
No.
it sounds a little weird, but like I've lived a lot of places, and different places kind of evoke different moods and different inspiration, like different thoughts and feelings, and like just feeling like as far as like how I would emote something into artistic form.
Yeah.
um
No. No.
okay,
Nope.
it's just I wonder just how that impacts other people, or if it does. That's all.
Um, mm, yeah, so okay, so I've lived in Alabama for a while, and it never, yeah, those people, other people, they never rubbed off on me. If
Good.
I stay,
Right. It's more
yeah,
about what's going on internally for
yeah,
you, and like
yeah,
the outside world maybe comes into that a little bit, but it's not like
yeah.
it's
It's
not what is the
right. It
flow.
doesn't affect me a great deal. Like I kind of I kind of see how I relate to everything else,
Right,
not the other way around, I guess.
right.
And I don't know if that's a feeler thing either. Maybe it is. I don't know.
I I'm I would think it's an FI thing, like an introverted feeling thing. And I think that it just comes at varying intensity levels depending
Yeah.
upon where that is, for you.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. That makes sense.
yeah, like for me, and other INTJ females I know, they're very artistic, like very artistic, because
Yes. No. Yeah.
we can put our, like, that's kind of like where we can channel our emotions, sort of. Like, we won't say or do anything, like, you won't even know that we're emotional throughout the day, but yet we can put it into things and get it out
Yeah.
that way, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. My INTJ is basically his art is creating games.
Oh, yeah.
And
Oh, yeah, yeah.
mostly it's board games, and that is how he does that. And his process is super aggravating because once he's finished, he'll redo the whole thing.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
It's so aggravating, but
Like,
it
he'll
ends up being
finish.
better than it was before. So
Okay.
it's okay. I've learned to kind of just give him that control. Like when I'm helping him, like I've learned to just give him that, and it always turns out better. So just
Right.
let him have it. Let him take 3 years. It's fine.
That's like how I feel like rebuilding Andy Andrea this past year. I'm like,
I've
I'm just
noticed
making
the
it better.
same.
It's just
I've noticed the same pattern, and it's like, and if I hadn't had, if I've never met Chris, then I wouldn't understand it. I'd just be like, finish it,
yeah.
do
It
it.
takes I really think that's where, with the objective personality system, I do like studying their animal stacks, because where your blast is kind of almost like determines your rumination. So I'm blast last, so I think you're probably a low blast too, where it's like a blast is like a demon state, so you're not like, this is the only conversation I'm going to be having all day. Like, I'm not a very I don't like a lot coming in audio, and I don't like a lot going out audio typically. So
Yeah.
that's indicative, I think, of of blast demon, or just having blast as a lower on your preference. And
Yeah.
I but it makes it so you ruminate on things more, you think about things more, you're a lot more thoughtful and mindful and insightful with how you go about things. And I don't know. I think that just ends up being evident in game building, in artistic work, in company building, in everything.
Yeah.
Like, because
Yeah.
I look at one of my ENTJ business partners, and how he does, how he executes his business models and how he does things. And I'm just like, he has to like ping externally to test it. And I don't like, I'm more like, it's a slow like rollout of everything. And then after everything's out, after I've already spent years working on everything, and after everything's out, couple market tweaks, and we're good. Like I don't need to, I spend so much time internally perfecting things that I don't need to externally test it as much. I just need to get the proper marketing in place and roll things out in the like timing fashion,
doing mostly it's I do the art, but he'll fix it.
Oh, okay, but cool. Okay.
Like he and I'm contributing ideas too, obviously. But it's I'm sitting there like, okay, we need to get some hype going around this one. Let's put it on the Instagram or something. Let's go.
Right.
And he's like, no, it's not.
We're super private. I think it's
not done.
I think it's an introvert thing, but particularly an INT thing, because INTPs can be like that too, because like the INTPs that I know are also very artistic or like very creative, design creative, but you would never know it because they'll put like one photo on like ever publicly. You literally have to you have to be really close friends with them. You have to like, for them to even share anything. It's even like just some of their portfolio sites and stuff. I'm just like, this is like 1/30th of what you have. Like, I do the same thing though. So I think it's like an introvert tendency, but it's especially an INT thing because, so I've decided to make a portfolio site just for my own stuff. I'm going to put modeling and my own photography on there. But I have like probably 70,000 photos. I have a ton. Like there's like 80+% of it I've never even shared any of it. So it's like, I'm like, screw it. I'm just going to put it, at least, what I feel comfortable with sharing anyways. But it's still, it's like that comfort level though. It's almost like, it's like it's so personal to us that.
Yeah. And it is. And I get that. I guess I put it on a painting and it's done, and I post a picture.
Right.
And if somebody understands it, then more power to them.
Right.
And if they don't, then oh well.
But it's really interesting from what I've observed, but a lot of INTJs I know really, really vibe with ISFPs. Like,
I've noticed that. A lot of people are like, oh, they're not supposed to get along, but I don't see why not.
One of the like CK is my favorite like INTJ YouTuber. That's, if you ever want to watch her videos, she talks about how INTJs kind of process things. She has a low blast too. You can tell low blast because typically you have an issue with trying to articulate things. You'll say the wrong word sometimes. You'll maybe have a stuttering issue sometimes. Like that's a low blast tendency. You just keep a lot inside. Like you're like a big perfectionist. Like you want things to be perfect. You always feel like there's more information to consume. There's always more to learn. There's always more to perfect.
I get that.
That's a low blast thing. But so CK is I think she has a low blast. She's worked on it a lot, like I have, and like if you can work on it. But she is married to an ISFP, and then another INTJ female I've known, like her best friend's an ISFP. Like and then the fact that you were like, oh, one of my best friends is an INTJ. I was like, this is a thing. This is kind of a thing, I think. So
it is a thing. It is a thing. If you can find them, it's a thing.
You're the first ISFP I've ever talked to. So
no, it's like
I know you guys are more common, but I'm just like I stay in like NT land. So It's
Well, there's a lot of us, to be quite honest. I think they're out there. They're just we don't go out.
same.
We're,
We're all just like, all right, yeah.
we're just hard to find. We're everywhere. You just like good luck finding one.
You guys are all probably just married and at home, probably. You know, it seems like it because even Emily's like married to an ISFP, so
Yes.
and they're
Yeah.
both
No.
introverts.
Yeah. We're out
So
there.
yeah, yeah, I definitely it's really interesting. I just have not, and I think where I really like the whole like cognitive functions and just that where I see that as applicable is just how it comes across in different parts of your life. For me, I really like it in business because it makes it so that I can put people in places that they want to be for the
Yeah.
long haul, you know, so like so they can like will really and it also makes it so like I can customize a lot of things for them that are like curated especially for their type and
Yeah.
and also like their passions and what they love, but like
Yeah.
but also I think one of the top three things I really like is also how it's applicable to how you create in the world and how you experience the world. So that's kind of where our art comes in is it's how you are creating in the world and how what that means to you and how what the process is of that, you know?
Yeah.
So
Yeah. No, that's the only way to hire somebody if you can do it that way. I get why huge businesses, they don't feel like they have time to do that kind of thing and really like analyze who they're dealing with and
it's
where they should put them.
efficiency.
But I
In my
think that
opinion,
should
it's
be
making things efficient. I'm making
right.
things more efficient by doing that.
Yes, like I think I think everyone should start moving towards that if they can, if
Yeah,
they can help it.
yeah. From what I've learned, my friend Lena, that's in LA, she's at ENTP, and she says that they're starting to implement the MBTI a lot more into the medical world, at least for that world. But I don't know if that's. And she was saying it was kind of for job placement type of analysis type of
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah, that's not for me.
I
No.
like to take care of people. I just can't like it,
Yeah.
I only have so much to give. I can't.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's better if I'm just focused and intense with it rather than it's
Yeah, no,
three people and it needs to be focused.
yes, there is so much. Yeah. If I am putting any attention into someone at all
Mhm.
whatsoever, it's because I know I could easily like run myself in the ground by trying to be friends with people and show them affection and do things with them.
Right.
So I really have to be careful about who I am spending any time on
I get
at
it.
all, because
I get it.
I can't do that for everyone or I will
Yep.
suffer.
No, I get it. I
Nobody
definitely
gets it. So like if I put too much into so many people, then eventually it's gonna stop completely.
mm-hmm.
Like I
I
can't.
think that's also like a low blast thing for sure.
Yeah.
It's a low blast as well as a just I think just an introvert quality in general. Like it
Yeah,
just
I think
is
so.
more accentuated with low blast. Like
Yeah.
when you're blast demon, which means it's just on the lower end of things for you, it it makes it so you can give a lot, but it's like you're depleting yourself rapidly when you do it.
Right.
So it
Yeah.
it makes it like I feel like literally, and I think INTJs struggle with this in general, and introverts too. But it's my whole life feels like a how do I get things done as efficiently as possible, but while
Yeah.
still conserving as much energy as possible.
Yes. And another thing,
So I
it's
learn
like,
all these hacks as to like how to accomplish things and how to do things. And like I look at some of my extroverted business partners and how much energy they're exuding constantly. And I'm just like, actually, I have like how you can do this one or two ways rather than 10 ways, you know, like I got your solution a lot quicker, a lot more efficiently.
right,
You don't need to burn so much energy, you
right,
know, like,
right.
but
And
then
it's
they're
like,
like, oh, well, I need that to have energy. And I'm just like, huh? What?
no.
That makes no sense.
Yeah, no, if I give friends with somebody or involved in some with somebody in any way, shape, or form,
Right.
it's I, I'm sorry, but you get it all. Like if
Yeah.
I am involved with you, you get everything, you get it all.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, and like it's literally either you get all of me or nothing.
Yeah. I think
Um,
INTJs are like
and
that
so
too. That's
it's
probably,
okay.
you
So
know,
it's very few people that I spend any attention on. So
mm-hmm.
yeah.
No, I get it. Does Will know that? Does your husband know that as far as kind of like, I'm
he
sure
has
he's very similar.
he has
I,
picked up on that, and I think he has noticed he kind of does the same thing too. Like
right.
so yeah, I guess introverts.
Yeah, it's definitely more of an introvert thing. I think we have a tendency to, if we're like relationship wise, we like to bond for life. Like
Yeah,
that's just how, to me that's just normal. Like I don't
yeah.
that's just how it should be. I don't understand why
Right.
it would be other.
Right. I don't like when I have decided, okay, this person is my friend.
Oh yeah, that
Um,
too. Yeah. Yeah, any type
that
of bonding. Yeah.
right, then that's it. We
Yeah.
are friends always, and if they defy that, then I'm like, oh, okay, well, uh, forget you.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
literally forget it.
Yeah.
Everything that
I'm the same way. Yeah.
has happened and
Yeah.
everything that
You almost have
could
to
have
just forget
happened.
it even ever, like you even had the
I
friendship because,
have I have no time. I have no
yep.
energy to spend on that when I have all of these other people that actually want it. I
Or
can't.
that are just a better use of your time, that are just a better investment for your time. Like
Yeah.
if someone
And
was
I'm
just
not
if
like, and I'm
someone
not
proves to
mentally
just be a
capable.
depreciating asset, it's like
Yeah.
you
Like
can't.
I'm not mentally capable of spending time on people that don't want it.
Yeah, yeah, reciprocity matters a lot. I agree. I
Yeah.
think I'm the same way. Like I'm sure you've noticed, but in just business stuff, I'm like that as well. Like I don't need people to respond to my communication all the time, but I do it just so that I'm keeping this reciprocity going with people so that they don't feel left out of things, so that like they understand also where I'm at with things as well. You know?
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
get it
Right.
out.
No,
And that's
you're just trying to stay organized and keep people in.
yeah,
Like I get that.
yeah.
Um,
If there are certain things in the works, I like to know things in advance rather than 2 days before or a day
yeah.
before. Like, tell me a few weeks before if you're working on going on a trip or something and you need me to go to some, like, let me know. I
Right.
cannot do things last minute. So,
Like I'm kind of like I'm not gonna say anything until somebody asks, and that
that's
can get in the way
that's
of
how
things.
I am naturally. I've forced myself to be
Yeah,
communicative just for sake of I think just work sake. That's why. Like
yeah.
I do it because I view it as respectful in in business. That's all. What yeah, any other thoughts you're think like I don't know, do you have any like I guess artistic goals at all? Do you have or maybe artistic dreams? Would that be a better way to word it?
Um, being able to make art. Honestly, if somebody wants to buy it, then
Yeah.
fine. If somebody doesn't want to buy it, fine.
Yeah. No, I get it.
I I do it for me.
Right.
And I guess I actually have a hard time doing artwork for other people
Yeah.
if they suggest it, unless it's something that I think, ooh, that would be great. I'm down with
Right.
that. That's what I want to do. But if somebody gives me an idea that I think is stupid, or it doesn't fit me, it
Mhm.
doesn't fit the mood, it doesn't fit my reality, it then I don't want to do it, period. Not even for
Yeah.
money.
Yeah.
um, but like if somebody suggests something that I love the idea of,
Mhm.
and it's something that I can relate to, it's something that I can put my own spin on,
Right.
then I will do it for free. Like,
Yeah.
um, so the dream is to keep being able to do art, um, whether or not I get paid for it.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I would hope, I would think that that's most artists, they just, it's kind of like they want to just keep creating. They want to be able to
Yeah.
continue to create. Like the
Yeah.
making a living from it is always the nice afterthought or like but
Right. Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
when artists like with companies like AP Global, like when artists actually start to experience being able to make a living off of their work, it,
Right.
there's always going to be that borderline of like sellout or commercialism that will start to come in with whatever offers they might get. But I think just at least having that opportunity, I think is
Right.
can always just be because what it does is it just frees up more time, more space for them to be able to be
Yeah.
inspired by more things, do more things, not have to I don't know, not have to think about, okay, well, I want to create and I'm an artist, but what jobs can I find that will fulfill this that aren't going to actually take all of my energy so that I
Yeah.
still have more to create so I can still do art, you know?
What you're doing is I guess adding some INTJ into what the artists are trying to like. Okay, so for the most part, artists are going to do what they do,
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
whether or not they
exactly.
get paid for it. Like they just, a lot of them, they just don't care
Yeah,
if they make money off of it. And so you're sitting there like, but you could. Why wouldn't you want to do that? And they're sitting like, nah, I just want to paint. Just
yeah,
leave me alone. Let me paint. And
yeah,
I think what you're doing is you're fixing a problem.
yeah.
It's
Well,
like,
and I've had so many artists because even ones like they can only go so long. You know, like Scott and Kim are a great example where they're a married couple and but they're both artists and
yeah,
they kept talking to me like 5+ years ago like all I want to do is create. How can
yeah,
I keep getting people asking me so I can sell one or two things to them, but then that only lasts for so long and then I have to make
yeah,
more and then I have to do this and it's very archaic to me. It feels very archaic the way a
yeah,
lot of artists are going about their monetization process. It feels like, you know, and that's where the
right,
whole like just the tech platform of having AP Global being able to do all of it for them so that
right,
they have that time and that space so they're not
yeah,
needing to worry about so they can take on the one or two projects for their friends that they might want to do and they don't need to worry about paying rent or bills the next month
right,
and
right.
so
Because like the monetization, it's not like, since it's not important to them, it's
it
it's
hinders
like,
them though like I don't know if they may not be so aware of it but it ends up
right,
being
no,
a hindrance to them.
you have to have money to buy the equipment to do all of this stuff.
Yep.
So, but it's like the money part isn't what's important to them, but it's like, well, if you just think about this for a second,
Yeah.
you need that. You need that to do what you're doing. So you
Yep.
really are fixing a problem.
Yeah,
And
I hope so. I think
you
it'll
are,
do
yeah,
really well. It's just
yeah,
it's definitely it because to me I grew up around I think some of my best friends growing up were all like starving artists and they were all artists that I just kept seeing them like, and then into adulthood, it's like I would see them go from homelessness to homelessness, or just living in a crappy place, and they'd still create, they'd still be doing their thing, but I'm just like, and they're like working at Subway, they're delivering pizza, they're doing all these stupid bullshit jobs that I'm just like,
Yeah.
you're so talented, and now with social media, being able to actually have, the whole world look at your work.
Yeah.
The whole world can also access it to buy it too. So
Yeah.
it's there's so much opportunity there. So it's whole like it's able to be globally accessible. Then it's like, okay, then you start to really, and then you can also, it also opens the door for a lot of other inspiration, and also like options for any business ventures that may not have already been there. If anything you want to take, if you wanted to. So
Right. Yeah. Only if you want. Yeah. Agree.
you should just be. That's just how life should be. So it's kind of like the right platforms need to be developed, that everyone is doing those things and that everyone can do those things. So
yeah, I'm all for making that easier.
yeah. Maybe next year if you wanted to go or something. It's in December.
That would be
but
cool.
I eventually, the plan is I eventually want to partner AP Global with Art Basel. So that's where I would like to move that along.
Yeah.
So Art Basel is going to be like a fundamental part of that company in the future. But Art Basel is like, they do contemporary and modern art, and it's very inspiring too.
I'm gonna have to Google it. I've never heard of it.
Just go to artbasel.com.
I will.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting. It's hard because the shows don't, like, online, it doesn't show you what it actually feels like to go. The past 2 years that I just went to all of the conversations. So basically I just went to all the artist panels and all of those things, as well as like I've gone to it for 6 or 7 years or so now, and it's it's all been like business strategy for me. So
yeah. Let me just speak to the important people, please.
Yeah. But all the art conversations are so cool, and just Art Basel in general is just such a cool concept and idea. So yeah. So I'd recommend, going to it next December if you're.
I do like seeing other people's art. So
it's how you want the experience to be.
Wow. Yeah. Let's go.
Yeah.
I'm ready.
I was gonna say, like, because it's canceled this year, which to me this year is such a good year to start things, and next year will be a great year to grow things. Well, thanks for chatting.
No problem.
I'll link your stuff down below. I'll just link your Instagram and everything, so then that way, so people can just follow you and they can, so, and then I think as AP Global gets launched and everything gets going, it'll start to click, I think, with people that watch, like, oh, this is what's happening. Oh, this is what I can do.
I think it will.
I think so. I get so in my head when I'm showing people things that, like, I don't think about that they might have no idea what the heck any of it is. So I'm just like, this is what it is. Why don't you understand my idea? I don't get it. But when it's in motion and they actually see how massive that company is going to get, like, it'll be interesting. So it'll be cool. So yeah. Well, thanks for chatting.
All right. Anytime.
All right. I'll talk to you later.
Bye.
Okay.